How to grow a small trading account. What if I told you that you don't need thousands of dollars to start building wealth through trading? In fact, some of the most disciplined traders today started with very small accounts. The truth is, growing a small trading account isn't about having a massive balance. It's about using the right mindset, risk management, and strategy. In this video, I'm going to walk you step by step through how you can realistically grow a small trading account, even if you're starting with just a few $100s. We'll cover mindset, risk management, the best setups, trading psychology, and finally a roadmap that shows you how to scale from small beginnings to a much larger account. By the end of this session, you'll not only understand the mechanics of growing your account, but you'll also have a practical plan you can follow. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the foundation, and it all starts with mindset. Most traders blow up their small accounts not because they don't know what an EMA or an RSI is, but because they think like gamblers instead of risk managers. Here's the mindset shift. Stop thinking in dollars. Start thinking in percentages. If you make $10 on a $500 account, that's 2%. Now imagine you can repeat that consistently. 2% doesn't sound like much, but it compounds massively over time. For example, a $500 account growing at 2% per day for just 100 trading days is over $3,500. That's the power of compounding. The second foundation is realistic expectations. You will not flip $100 into 100,000 overnight. Trying to do that is exactly why people blow up their accounts. Instead, set achievable goals. Focus on surviving and compounding, not on getting rich quick. And finally, avoid the most common mistakes: over-leveraging, revenge trading after a loss, and ignoring risk-reward. If you can sidestep those three traps, you're already ahead of 90% of traders who lose. Now let's dig into risk management, the part most traders avoid, but the single biggest reason small accounts either survive or disappear. Rule number 1. Never risk more than 1 to 2% of your account on a single trade. Let's take a $500 account. 1% risk is just $5. That may sound small, but this discipline is what allows you to survive losing streaks. Rule number 2. Always use a stop loss. Stops aren't optional when you have a small account. You simply cannot afford to take a $50 loss when your total balance is $500. So how do you place a stop loss correctly? One method is to use the ATR, the average true range. If ATR says the market typically moves 10 points, you don't want your stop loss set at just 3 points. Give it room, but size your position smaller so your dollar risk is still controlled. Rule number 3. Proper position sizing. Let's say you're trading micro futures. If your stop is 20 ticks away and each tick is worth 50 cents, that's $10 per contract. If you only want to risk $5, you can only afford half a contract, which isn't possible. That means either skip the trade or wait for a setup with tighter risk. And finally, think about scaling. Increase your trade size only when you've consistently proven you can handle your current size. Don't double your size just because you had one good week. Grow gradually. Like a professional with risk under control, let's talk about what you actually trade. Here's the truth. You don't need 10 different strategies. In fact, that's the fastest way to confuse yourself. What you need is 1 or 2 high-probability setups that you master. For example, one of my favorites for small accounts is the EMA crossover combined with RSI. The rule is simple. When the fast EMA crosses above the slow EMA and RSI is above 50, you look for longs. When the fast EMA crosses below and RSI is under 50, you look for shorts. Simple, visual, and easy to follow. Another great setup is breakouts. Wait for a key level to break with volume and enter on confirmation. With a small account, you want trades that move quickly, not positions that require holding for weeks. Whatever setup you choose, make sure it's tested. Back-tested on TradingView, paper traded for 2 to 4 weeks, and then, and only then, put real money behind it. And please, stick to liquid instruments. Trade major futures contracts, large-cap stocks, or highly liquid ETFs. Don't waste your small account on penny stocks or illiquid cryptos. Liquidity is your safety net. Next is psychology, and honestly, this is where most small traders fail. When you're working with a small account, every loss feels personal. You might lose $20 and think, that's gas money, that's groceries. This emotional attachment can lead to revenge trading, trying to win it back instantly, and that's deadly.
Here's the rule. Accept losses as tuition. Every professional trader pays tuition in the form of losing trades. The difference is that pros keep their tuition low. To control psychology, use a trading journal. Write down your trades, why you took them, how you felt, and what the outcome was. Over time, patterns will emerge, both in your strategy and in your emotions. And finally, avoid over-trading. A small account doesn't mean you need to take more trades to make it grow. Quality over quantity. 1 to 3 high-probability trades a day is more than enough. All right, let's put it all together into a roadmap. If you're starting with $500, focus on micros, maybe one contract. Risk $5 to $10 per trade. Build consistency. When you reach $2,500, increase size slowly. Maybe trade 2 or 3 micros. Stick to the same setups. At $10,000 and beyond, you now have the capital to size into minis or larger stock positions. This is also the stage where you can consider prop firms. Companies like Apex, FTMO, or TopStep will fund you with tens of thousands of dollars once you prove your consistency. At each milestone, remember, the strategy doesn't change, the mindset doesn't change. Only the position size changes. And that's how you compound a small account into a serious trading balance. So, let's recap. To grow a small trading account, you need 5 things. The right mindset, focus on percentages, not dollars. Strict risk management, risk 1 to 2% per trade. 1 or 2 simple high-probability setups. Psychological control, no revenge trading, no overtrading, and a clear growth roadmap. Scale gradually, milestone by milestone. If you follow this plan with discipline, your small account will not only survive, but it will grow. Thank you so much for watching. If this video gave you value, hit that like button, subscribe for more trading education, and drop a comment telling me your current account size and your growth goal for the next 6 months.